What's up, y'all? We're gonna be talking about Swellow. All right, so first things first, I want to get this out of the way right now because I know people are going to talk about it, and I just want to get out of the way. So you might notice, yes, it no longer has guts. Reason being, guts is restricted to only trainer use. Reason for that being, you can find more detail about this in the Google Docs or Google Sheets, excuse me, down below in the description. You can get a very detailed explanation on the ability sheet as to why I've restricted these. But in short, it's because you can essentially go into a battle with a guts boost as well as another item, for example, a life orb or choice band, and that is extremely broken and unintended. And yes, I can trust that a lot of these people that are playing this hack will be faithful and use flame orb or toxic orb as intended, but I can't guarantee that. Not to mention, it's just too much to worry about. So don't let that get you upset though, because Swellow has two new abilities that both actually give it the same boost that Guts did. So it has two new abilities in Hustle and Instinct. Hustle is technically not a new ability, however, it is reworked to the point where it's effectively a new ability because of all the buffs I made to how it functions, and I'll get into that shortly. But Hustle and Instinct both give it a +1 attack boost or special attack boost. Instinct comes from download, so essentially you switch in your Swellow and you get a +1 special attack or attack boost for free, and that's incredible and very strong. Also, I forgot to fucking check Instinct on Mega. I forgot to do that. Still, I didn't check if it works when you Mega Evolve, but anyways. Yeah, Swellow is incredible with those two abilities. They only have minor offensive stat buffs, but of course, the main boost comes from their incredible abilities and move pool buffs. So 95, 85 offenses are kind of middling when you look at them on their own. I mean, they're pretty solid, but they're not that great. But when you consider the boost from Hustle or Instinct, let's say 95 attack with 252 investment, neutral nature, +1 attack, which is what Hustle or Instinct will give you, you hit 433 attack. And then special attack with Instinct is at 403. So 433 and 133, which is like 152 and 167. 152 special attack, 167 attack. All right, that's essentially what your offensive stats are when you consider the Instinct or Hustle boost. So Instinct is very self-explanatory. Okay, you switch it in, you get that boost. You can be very specific with what boost you get. As long as you switch it in at the right time, you can guarantee that you'll get an attack or special attack boost depending on what you need. And Swellow is a great mixed attacker in this hack, and also it was pretty good as a mixed attacker before. Anyways, yes, they lost Scrappy as well, but again, these two boosting abilities are much better than Scrappy with Boom Burst. Yeah, it's kind of cool, but Boom Burst isn't as powerful. It's 125 base power, which is still incredible, but it's not as ridiculous. You also have Hyper Beam and other great stuff, which I'll get into in a little bit, but first I want to cover Hustle because people might not know about the Hustle buffs in this hack. So I've essentially changed it so a lot of moves just flat out don't miss with Hustle, but they still get the power boost. So essentially, Swellow has access to Stab, Quick Attack, and Aerial Ace, and Extreme Speed, which none of those will miss. So you have Quick Attack when you are pre-evolution, and then of course you get quick attack, and then you get Aerial Ace at 30, which is 55 base power. So basically, quick attack is 50 base power, Aerial Ace is 55 base power. Both of those are priority moves, +1 and +2 priority respectively. And then E speed is 80 base power and +3 priority. So it kind of goes up and up. Obviously, I would run Aerial Ace and E speed probably because there's your type coverage and stuff. But yeah, those are incredible options. Hustle E speed alone is incredible. You can just spam that. It's such a spammable free move. I mean, you have 95 base attack, but again, with Hustle, that 95 base attack turns into 167 base attack, essentially, with investment in a neutral nature. With a max nature, with a plus attack nature, it's even stronger, but yeah, that's essentially the equivalent. So it's a very, very, very powerful Pokemon. You also have other Hustle options, so you have access to U-Turn, which also can't miss with Hustle, and that's great. It's good coverage. You also have access to Flail and Reversal, both of which are incredible with Hustle because of the high power. So essentially, you can run an Endure, Lychee Berry set, or a Focus Sash Swords Dance set with Flail and Reversal and absolutely sweep, because Swellow also has 135 base speed now, which is a nice buff, because the speed tiers in this hack are a lot higher than you might expect. So if you go to the speed tier guide, you can see where Swellow currently stacks up. It currently speed has it Mega Alakazam and Scyther, and then it outspeeds a bunch of other Pokemon, and it's outsped by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 Pokemon. Only 8 Pokemon currently outspeed it, not counting Mewtwo and shit, which is not usable, only for Giovanni and Dexio. But yeah, all right, that's pretty sick. Of course, there's going to be more mons that will outspeed it as we add more and more Pokemon, but the point is 135 base speed is still a great speed tier, incredibly fast, and definitely in the top 10% of fastest Pokemon in the hack. And of course, it still has Hustle E-Speed and Hustle Aerial Ace, which don't even matter with their speed stat. So those are great. U-turn with Hustle is great. Also, other stuff. So another buff to Hustle is that Wide Lens now boosts your accuracy by 15%. So you can literally just run flat out like Brave Red Double Edge or Strength or whatever, all these powerful ass stab moves with Hustle and just slap a Wide Lens on your Swellow, and now your 80% accurate moves turn into 92% accurate. This is bothering me. This is not loading in the images for Hustle. There we go. So yeah, that's awesome, all right? Wide Lens is just a great item. You can slap that on your Swellow, you get that +1 attack boost. Obviously, Instinct is also a lot more reliable. However, Instinct can also be less reliable. Depends on the situation, because Instinct, you're not always going to be able to guarantee that attack boost or special attack boost. Sometimes, you know, you won't be able to switch it in and get that correct boost. You know, it might be hard, especially because it is a pretty frail, it's a very frail Pokemon. Switching it in is difficult unless you're switching on a ground move or a ghost move. You know, it does have good defensive utility because it does have 2 immunities, but it's still semi-difficult to get on the field. However, you do have access to infinite use eject button and parting shot and U-turn and Volt Switch on like every fucking Pokemon, so any bulky parting shot mon can easily switch in your Swellow for free. So it's not that difficult, but you know, you can't hard switch it in on a lot of things. You have to be smart about that. But yeah, extremely powerful. You also have First Impression for priority, and that also can't miss. So U-turn and First Impression are bug type moves that are boosted by Hustle and can't miss. Again, Flail and Reversal are really, really incredible. I mean, 135 base speed, 95 attack with Flail Reversal, Hustle boosted, 200 base power move. You have Reversal for the rock types and the steel types, and you have Flail for stab, and then you have, you know, knockoff or Hell Thrust for dark coverage, or Shadow Ball or something like that for hitting, you know, for hitting ghosts if you need that for Flail Reversal. And obviously ghosts aren't going to be in every boss fight anyways, so you can definitely sweep a lot of fights with Flail Reversal. It's very, very strong on Hustle Mons. In general, it's a strong thing to have, but on Hustle Mons with Lychee Berry, it's really strong with Endure. Endure is also every teachable TM, so you can easily just, you know, once you hit level 42 and you try to learn Flail Reversal, then you can teach the Endure TM and just go to town. You can sweep whatever trainer battle was coming up. You know, probably around that time you'll have like Gladion, not Gladion, excuse me. Well, you'll have that eventually, but like, you know, Plumeria is like a notable one that you could probably maybe try to cheese. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but it's still a great strategy nonetheless. Post-game, you also have access to Last Resort, which can't miss. It's gimmicky, but it's a very strong move, so, you know, 130 base power, or 140 base power, actually, and can't miss. Very strong stab, no drawbacks. You can just use Move Deleter and spam Last Resort if you want. First Impression Last Resort is great. First Impression Swords Dance Last Resort also works, but that's all post-game stuff, so I'm not going to talk about it, because Last Resort is a post-game tutor. But yeah, your main moves is Aerial Ace, E-Speed, First Impression, U-turn, you know, that kind of stuff with Hustle. Also, again, just flat out Wide Lens is a great buff. And then, of course, Instinct is great. Physical sets can run Instinct, but also special sets really like Instinct. Another thing that Swellow kind of lacked was coverage. I did my best. Obviously, it is just a fucking bird, so there's not too much I can do. But I gave it Shadow Ball because a lot of normal types just have that for no reason, so why not just give it Shadow Ball to hit, you know, ghosts and stuff. They have, so physically, I'll cover their physical coverage. So physically, they have, of course, they have dual stab on both sides. Physically, they have access to knockoff and Hell Thrust for dark coverage, takedown and close combat for fighting coverage, play rough for fairy coverage, and then First Impression and lunge and U-turn for bug coverage, and then Steel Wing, which is a weak, you know, 60 base power move that always boosts your defense stat by 1. So, you know, that could be useful, but overall you're using that for the defense boost. Also, Pursuit is there, so Pursuit, knockoff, and Hell Thrust for dark moves. So yeah, not the best coverage, you know, covet, play rough for fairy. It's not like incredible coverage, but it's really all you'll really need. And especially you have access to Heat Wave, Natural Gift, Weather Ball, Shadow Ball, Ominous Wind, but especially stuff like Heat Wave is incredible to hit steals and whatnot, and then you have Natural Gift, which becomes any type in the game, 110 base power, special move. You can use it with any berry and get any type move of that. Obviously, it's only one-time use, but it's still great nonetheless. And you have Nature Power and Weather Ball, which change type depending on the terrain or weather. So, you know, Electric Terrain, Nature Power gets you T-Bolt, Grassy Terrain gets you Energy Ball, Sun gets you Weather Ball, Fire type, you know, Ice type with the Hail, whatever it is, you know, that's really good on weather or terrain sets, if you have like a terrain setting teammate or something, or weather setting teammate, which is very common and very viable now, thanks to the TM editions of Electric Terrain and Grassy Terrain and all the new mons that get them and stuff. So that's really cool. You know, so special sets are also good. Also, special sets also have Focus Blast, and then of course you have very strong stab on both sides. So, you know, even just simple like Hone Claws Dive Bomb with Hustle is very powerful because Hone Claws. Also, the reason I gave them Hone Claws is because they do have talons and stuff. So I figured giving birds Hone Claws is not weird. But yeah, Home Claws is great because you can actually use inaccurate moves and still not miss them. So Hustle with a 90% accurate dive bomb. Dive bomb is flying type high jump kick if you're not familiar. Again, you can always check out all these buffs and changes for yourself in the description down below. There's 130 plus new moves, 130 plus new moves. The vast majority of moves are changed. Like 98% of them are changed. There's like 10 moves that aren't touched. Maybe that's being generous, actually. There's probably even less. Only ones I can think of off the top of my head are Return, Earthquake, and Ironhead. Most moves are buffed or changed or nerfed in some regards, so check them all out and stuff. So I won't waste too much time going into all those nitty gritty, but yeah, early game Hustle's great. Again, you got that wide lens, you got that quick attack, you got that first impression, you got that Home Claws also is a pretty early TM, so that's all awesome. You also have Sky Drop, which can't miss. Is that on the Hustle guide? It might not be. I might have forgotten it. Hold on. I did. I forgot it. Let's put that in. Put that next to Hyper Fang because it's also a kind of signature exclusive type move. Not exclusive, but just not that distributed. Hyper Fang's only there for like Eradicate and shit. Because it's the only mon that gets Hustle and Hyper Fang. Come on. What was I just typing? Oh, Sky Drop. Yeah, that's another move I can't miss. So. The downside, so Sky Drop is very strong. Sky Drop is 95 base power now, so it's very powerful. But the reason it's shit is it's not shit. It's just very because Sky Drop is a really dumb mechanic where it fails if they weigh more than you. I believe. Let me triple check my effects. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Come on. I know it's here. Hold on. Yeah, Pokemon weighing more than 440 pounds can't be listed by Skydrop. So that's not that limiting, but you know, it can be kind of annoying. You might not be able to Skydrop certain ones, but regardless, other than that, though, it's a great move. I mean, 95 base power stab that cannot mess with Hustle, so you essentially get a free 50% boost on that. It's incredible. You don't have to run wide lens, you don't have to worry about the accuracy on stuff like Brave Bird or Acrobatics or your Dual Wing Beat or these other great flying stab moves. Dual Wing Beat is 90 base power overall and has a good flinch rate. Air Slash is good. Fly is also cool, so Fly can miss. However, if you do land it, you get a +1 accuracy boost, which is pretty sick. So you can use that, and then you can use other moves after and not miss them. So that's always cool. Pursuit also technically can't miss if the opponent switches. It doesn't miss. It bypasses the accuracy check, so that's technically a Hustle move, but not worth mentioning. Yeah, honestly, that's really about it. I mean, you know, Tailo has Defiant, and it keeps Scrappy just for solid early game abilities for Melee Island and the beginning of Akala Island. Defiant is very fitting, as the Pokedex quite literally says word for word that it's Defiant. It literally says this gutsy Pokemon will remain defiant even after a loss. So, yeah, that's also the same reason I gave it Instinct. You know, it has these instincts that it kicks in and whatever, and it gets that boost. And then Hustle, you know, it's in Japanese, it's Enthusiasm. I think Hustle fits very nicely for Swellow as well. Both these abilities are very, very fitting for Swellow, Hustle and Instinct both. And of course, they are both very good. They patch up its solid but mediocre 95, 85 offenses with that incredible 50% boost. And again, it is very fast as well. It has solid coverage, very good move pool in terms of stab. Again, E-Speed is incredible. You also have like Z Supersonic and Z Mirror move, which will give you +2 stats. Z Supersonic gives you +2 special attack. Z Mirror move gives you +2 attack and uses a Z move. While, of course, you have Swords Dance for regular setup. Hurricane is more accurate and more powerful. Focus Blast is more accurate and more powerful. All these moves are changed or buffed in some regards, so I would definitely just check that out in the description below. Feather Dance is good for utility. Feather Ball and Harmonize are good utility moves. They're 60 and 70 base power respectively and drop the attack stat by 1. Whirlwind is priority and only has 1 PP. So that's really cool for like switching Pokemon out on purpose. Like, oh shit, this mon's sweeping me, let me use it. Or oh shit, you know, I can't set up on this mon because it has taunt, let me whirlwind them out and then click Swords Dance on the next Pokemon that comes in or something. You know, it's situational, but it's a great option. What else is there? Razor Wind is very powerful. Aeroblast is very powerful. Aeroblast is 65 base power, 95% accurate, always crits. Dive Bomb, Flying type of Jump Kick. Brave Bird and Double Edge are both 125 base power moves that have 25% recoil and have 30 or 50% chances to drop defense respectively. Giga Impact and Hyper Beam are 160 base power moves that drop your attack or special attack stat by 2. Those are awesome and really strong. Boom Burst is great at level 60. That's great for Instinct. That's, you know, 125 base power, special move that has no drawbacks versus Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is very powerful as well. In fact, I believe 2 Hyper Beams might be stronger. Hold on. 160 plus 80 versus 125 times 2. Okay. So 2 Hyper Beams in a row is only 10 base power weaker than 2 Boom Bursts in a row. So that's definitely something to consider. Hyper Beam and Giga Impact are great. Boom Burst is still great though, of course. Especially because after that third use, then it's really good. Or you might want to use Boom Burst and then some other move after. So I'm not saying that it's objectively better, but it's something to consider. Yeah, that's really about it. I don't know, just great coverage. Not incredible, but just good coverage. It's got all it needs that I can logically reason with for a bird, which is a plain old bird. Yeah, that's really about it. I don't know. Dive Bomb plus Home Claws is a really good combo because if you miss Dive Bomb, you take half your HP. It's like flying up a jump kick. However, it is very powerful and doesn't deal recoil. So that's definitely something to consider with Home Claws. Not the best option, but it's good. Yeah, I don't know. It's really about it, honestly. Oh, Sky Attack, that's another Hustle move. Yeah, Sky Attack is incredibly powerful with Hustle as well. So Power Up Sky Attack. Also, Z moves in general don't miss with Hustle, so any Z move on Swellow. So once you beat Hala and you evolve at level 22, so you'll be like level 20 by the time you beat Hala. Hala's level 20 for the most part. So, you'll get Swellow in very early Akala Island. Then you'll have both Stab Z moves. You'll have the Flyanium and Normalium Z already, so you can get Stab, Hustle moves already at that early in the game. That's really powerful for that early on. It's also just powerful in general. I mean, Z Giga Impact just is an absolute fucking nuke, You don't even need to worry about that wide lens. You don't need to worry about that E-speed. None of those other accuracy checks. You could just run Unga Bunga Z move, that those do not miss with Hustle, so that's incredible. And then, of course, Sky Attack is like a pseudo Z move in that sense because Sky Attack is 120 base power, but it always crits, and it has a 30% flinch rate. So Power Herb Sky Attack saves you the Z move slot, and you still get that Z move level power. It's 180 base power, essentially. So it's like kind of like using Z Fly or something, or Z Dual Wing Beat or something. Z Dual Wing Beat is a better combo, a better comparison because Z Dual Wing Beat is 45 base power per hit, so 90 base power. So Z move is 175. So yeah, that's really about it. I'm not gonna talk too much else about it. It's a very simple and straightforward change. It's just a really fast and strong Mon. Great abilities, really good speed, incredible offenses with the abilities considered. Solid coverage, good move pool. Very straightforward changes. I had to make sure it didn't overlap with the other normal flying types. So there is 7 of them, I believe. So I had to just be careful with that and make sure that they don't overlap with one another and that they, they're all unique to one another. So for example, Pidgeot isn't nearly as strong, but it's also, and it's not nearly as fast, but it does have speed boost and has 122 base speed, I believe, or 121, something like that. I think it's 122. So Pidgeot is slightly slower, but it has speed boost and it's much bulkier and it has the Mega, but it's also not as strong without Hustle or Instinct. So that's something to consider. And then there's like Staraptor, which is stronger without the abilities, and it has useful abilities and stuff, Toucan, etc. We'll get to those when we get to them, I promise. But yeah, Fearow isn't as fast, but Fearow is a lot stronger with Ruthless than Hustle Swellow is. Ruthless is stronger. However, like Choice Band E-Speed is stronger than like Scope Lens Slash, because Choice Band E-Speed lets you get the Choice Band boost while Slash requires Scope Lens to be consistent. So I'm being too detailed with the comparisons, but you guys get the idea, okay? It is very different from Mons like Pidgeot and Fearow, and the other normal flying types, of which there are 4 more. So, yeah. One of them is Chatot, though, and Chatot doesn't count because it's fully special, so that doesn't really count as an overlap. But yeah, it's just a great Mon, man. I don't know what else to talk about. It's really just, it's here. I know a lot of people love Swellow. I find it kind of boring, but that doesn't mean I gave it any boring nerfs. Boring buffs or anything. I definitely went in and I'll know the buffs here, like always. So, yeah, I could talk more about all the little nitty-gritty details of these moves, but it would take too much time. So I think you guys can get the rest of the ideas just by browsing the sheets and looking at the moves and stuff. It's got a lot of good options. So, yeah, thank you so much for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Might be a little bit on the quicker side, but it's pretty brief changes. So, yeah. Thanks everyone, and bye. I hope I explained the abilities. And also, one last thing I'll say: if you are new here, this hack does have access. This hack does give you access to an infinite usability capsule at the beginning, and infinite and instantaneous EV training items. So a mixed attacker like Swellow really benefits from that because you can run Hustle with one battle, and then use the EV training item and give it Instinct, in a special attacking set instead of a physical attacking set, and then give it Instinct for the very next battle. The literal next boss fight, you can change your set entirely. And you also have tons of great TMs to do that with. So definitely worth changing your sets around. That's what I designed these Pokemon with in mind. I designed them so that you're switching around their abilities, not just keeping one the whole game. So that's really cool. that's about it now. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like on the video and also consider subscribing. If you listened this far, you definitely should be subscribed, because clearly this this is appealing to you in some regard. Feel free to join my Discord server in the description below. Again, all of these changes are linked in the description below in the Google Sheets link. You can see all of the detailed move changes. I have a very detailed guide there, all the new abilities and stuff, all the other Pokemon buffs. You can also watch my other videos if you'd rather watch videos than look at the sheets. It's up to you. You know, everybody's different. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it out there. Thanks for listening. Bye.